The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
TI Trust stands for True Integrity. One of our core values that we had for our staff was integrity.
We want to be seen as a very integrity-driven company.
We've been doing trust services as an organization since the 1950s. It's all based on what's in the best interest of the clients.
At the end of the day, it's about serving that client and getting to a result that they need.
Hi, this is Ron Kinshirf with Muddy River News, and this is the TI Trust Business Spotlight. We have Jake Maas with us. Thanks for coming along.
Absolutely.
And Jake, you have B2 Marketing Consulting, correct?
Management Sure. B2 is a remote-based business, and we provide back office services to other small business. Our core niche is really on the attorney and law firm side. It's kind of a quick summary.
Is it a franchise type thing?
It is not a franchise. It is wholly owned. It started about 16 years ago in Austin, Texas, in an economy downturn. Firm administrator said, "My firm can't afford me. I need to do this part-time." That was their first client, and so went 16 years ago then, single person, and now we've got 43 people across the whole country.
Okay, so is it headquartered here in Quincy now? Is it yours solely?
It is mine solely, yes, headquartered out of my home.
Okay, and then all your employees are remote?
Yep.
And what type of services do you provide?
Sure, we do. Our core services are bookkeeping, accounting, and billing. So billing, especially for attorneys and law firms, is a little bit specific. So that's our core services, but we have different individuals on my team that can do some CFO level consulting, can do some compensation consulting. We have an HR person that does anything from, rewriting your handbook to setting up, all of your HR policies. She also does a little bit of recruiting on that nature as well.
So you mentioned the legal side of things. I guess that may be your niche, but you will talk to any other type of business, correct?
Absolutely. Our legal side is probably 85-90% of our business. We've got some nonprofits. We have some construction companies. So a little bit of everything in the mix.
Is there a size business that you cater to?
Not really. I mean, on the law side, we really focus on, we do our marketing towards like the 3 to 24 attorney law firms, but we have a lot of solos. We have a law firm that is in the top 100 in the nation.
Right.
So we'll fill any need where it has to be filled.
But outside, on the non-legal side, similar size businesses, is there a dollar amount that they make per year that you're looking at?
Not really. I mean, because obviously all businesses are different, when it comes to a revenue stream. But most people hire us because it makes more sense to have somebody that, is a professional on the accounting side, your daily bookkeeping, but you can't afford to have somebody full-time on your staff. So I don't know, from a business side where that fits.
Now, do you have people on your staff that handle multiple accounts, or would I be dedicated strictly to a specific law firm?
So my staff handles, most of my people handle anywhere from 3 to 5 different clients. But you get one person, right? Like if you're a business and hired us, you have one dedicated person to your, and it's not, hey, I send a help email and 10 different people could answer. You have one person that you
have one contact person. Okay.
Absolutely.
And that would be in whatever service you would provide, whether it's the accounting or payroll or the HR side of things, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
You would have one key point of contact.
So you've really kind of adopted the pandemic type work from home atmosphere within your company. Did this start prior to the pandemic?
It did. So I've only been involved with the company and had the company for about a year and a half.
Right.
But they're working remote and pushing throughout the country, dating back to like 2015, when they hired their first remote employee, and that allowed also to branch out into other areas, other geographic areas, not just the Austin area that it started in. So
are you feeling there's Is there challenges not being brick and mortar from a management perspective? Like you just can't walk down to Sally's desk and say, "What how's this client going?" Or do you like this model?
The model seems to work really well for us. We meet with our team, have set meetings every week, so we're weekly touching them. They're team leaders. We're all set up in pods or groups.
Okay.
So their team leaders is communicating with them every single day. We have enough insight on the time that they're spending on their clients to know that, and enough review of the work they're doing on their clients to know they're getting the job done.
So if I were to bring you, or interested in having you work with my business, what's the process that you would go through?
Sure. So we have a dedicated client engagement manager who actually will talk to you about our business. I can as well, but that's her role, to tell you about our services, see that our model is going to fit. Our model doesn't fit with everyone, right? 'Cause
Right.
there are certain aspects that some stuff has to be done in an office. If you physically print checks in your business, we can't physically print your checks. We can coordinate all that, but we can't do it. And so she would set up that time. That's all just, a free meeting, typically hour and a half that it takes, depending on the level of needs that you have. And then what's also nice is she's also the person that will get you onboarded, get you set up with our system, and then have all the processes in place before it's handed over to an accountant or a service person.
Does this person ever go on site to meet with the client? Is that possible, or is it, again, you're remote?
It is possible. I have visited a few semi-local clients,
Right.
Midwest clients. But outside of that, we haven't been into a client location in probably 3 years.
Oh, seriously? Wow. Okay. If I'm a business, how do I know I need you? Is it to the point where I'm just overwhelmed with my day-to-day accounting, or how would I know that you are somebody for me to look at?
Sure. So a lot of our business comes because people are tired of turnover of their people in-house, or it becomes the point that they've either grown their business to the point that they can't handle the bookkeeping themselves, or they had a secretary or a paralegal doing the books, and that's just really not a great practice.
Yeah.
We don't do any tax work, right? So we work a lot with different tax provider or different tax businesses. So you don't need that, but
you can hand that off?
Yes, we hand it off. We work real closely. We give them a complete package that they shouldn't ask you a lot of questions about your business.
Right. Actually, I just was going to ask you about the tax side of things. I got it circled here. So on the tax side, do you outsource that and then bill the client for the tax services, or do you just say, hey, here's Bob's accounting service, go ahead and use them for your tax situation?
We have several depending on the business that you have,
Right.
or your geographic location. Some people like some that are a little bit closer to them, or at least their same time zone. So we just refer them to you. We don't get in the middle of it. We hand over your information, and they take care of you.
So this is my description of this, and having worked with clients in the past, to me it's almost like when you're to that point, you're becoming a big boy company, where you have big boy needs and big boy stresses. That might be the time to give you a call. Does that make sense? Where you can't hire what you need, but you need what you can't hire.
That definitely makes sense. For sure, on the non-law firm side, that makes sense. On law firm side, billing, right? That's how you make your money, right? You need to spend money doing what you do as opposed to sending out bills.
So now, by the time you get to work with a client, they probably have their accounting system in place, or some back-end type software. Do you convert them to what you use, or how is that process?
We don't. We will inherit whatever you have.
Okay.
We are open to helping you transition to something different. We don't actually do the consulting on that, but we'll support you in that. That's one benefit that we have. There's
Millions, yeah.
softwares out there. My team probably currently works in 50 to 60 different
See, that's,
ones.
I think that's huge, though, that you don't say, hey, if you come join us, you have to use Oracle or whatever, because that's a huge transition for a small business to make, to convert over to whatever that accounting application
Yeah,
can be.
absolutely. We also, on that note, I mean, we call it our 60 to 90 day plan that will give you any recommendations, on process improvements or anything that we found
Oh, you do?
in that
Okay.
time. And sometimes that does include, the system is working, but there could be something better for you.
And so I'm assuming that you don't load all their business applications and all that on that individual's computer. You just remote into whoever that client may be. Is that correct?
That is
Or their
correct.
cloud-based system.
There's so many of them that are cloud-based now that probably 90% of our clients are on a cloud-based platform. But the few that aren't, we have an IT third party that will set it up, but most of the time they already have somebody in-house or
Or a partner
an IT
yeah.
partner that they work with to set up those remote connections.
Now, are there standards with this type of business from a security standpoint that you have to meet federally or something like that, that you have to be a certain security level or SOC level in order to do this type of thing?
There's not. There's
Okay.
not. I mean, we obviously have plenty of firewalls and protections,
Yes.
for your data because we're working with some very confidential information. But there is no government standards.
So I think something, and just again from past experience, that you offer that I think is huge that a lot of small businesses may not have time to get to is the handbook piece. Because I think that's when you run into firing and hiring and maternity leave and all that type of stuff. Do you find that falls through the cracks a lot with many small businesses?
Definitely.
So okay, so that is something you can help with, though, right?
Absolutely. And we've done enough of them that there's some very
Redundancy,
standard
yeah.
things that you can quickly adopt, quickly make some decisions on that a handbook can be, or just general policies,
Right.
can be put together for you in a relatively quick manner.
Now, do you offer? I know a lot of your clients are legal, but do you offer legal services?
We do not do any
Because you don't have a legal
services.
partner. Okay. And then the recruiting aspect of it, I find that interesting too. So obviously, it's hard to find people right now. So a company calls and say, hey, I'm looking for another paralegal or something like that, or whatever it may be. You can do the recruiting process and try and find somebody.
We can, and we do that, kind of a similar nature, that we really spend time with you to understand the needs that you have, what you're looking for, and we can set that up, in multiple different ways of how much or how little that we're involved in
Okay.
that process.
So do you offer your service like an a la carte type menu situation, or you bundle it all together per year and say it's going to be X amount per month?
So
Or
we-
it could be either.
A little bit of both. Most of our services start on an hourly basis.
Okay.
And it could be blocked between, HR services, CFO services, accounting and payroll services. And once you're a client and we know your needs, you know how to work with us, we'll definitely convert you over to a flat fee so that you can
Okay.
budget it and know your same cost every month.
Speaking of budgeting, do you help your clients budget for the year?
We do have some budgeting
Okay.
as well in there.
Now, with what we've gone through in the pandemic, I think working for you could be pretty attractive for people that are used to working from home and don't want to go in, or maybe have a child care issue, things along those lines. Are you finding that?
We get a lot of interest from people that just say, I want remote, I'm tired of commuting. I have to go back 2 days a week now. But we're also very picky in who we hire. We're working with professional businesses, and so we're making sure that we have professional people because we rely on my team members are really the face of the company.
Right.
Most clients will never meet me.
Well, that's probably good for your clients and for your
Sure
business.
is.
So now, do you accept part-time employees?
We do have a handful of
I'm just
part-time
because I
employees.
think that would be okay. I think that would be attractive for some people.
Absolutely.
People wanting to get back into the workflow
We
force.
require part-time people to be. I get a lot of questions. Right? Can I do it nights and weekends? Not really, because businesses
Business
have
aren't open,
needs,
yeah.
they have questions. So we want people to be available during quote-unquote regular business hours.
Okay.
Even if they're part-time.
All right. The last thing I'm going to ask you: if somebody watching this is interested, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure.
Is there a website or Facebook
We've
page?
got a website. We're active on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
Our website is is B as in boy 2.
The number 2.
Number 2, yep. Dash mgmt.com.
So b2-mgmt.com.
Absolutely.
If I could remember it on the first try, I'm sure everybody here could. Hey, good seeing you, man.
You as well.
All right, that's
Thanks,
Jake Maas from B2 Management and Consulting. I'm Ron Kinshirf. This has been the TI Trust Business Spotlight.
TI Trust stands for True Integrity. One of our core values that we had for our staff was integrity.
We want to be seen as a very integrity-driven company.
We've been doing trust services as an organization since the 1950s. It's all based on what's in the best interest of the clients.
At the end of the day, it's about serving that client and getting to a result that they need.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.